In fact, it was a complete shocker for a Mysorean as a massive tree came crashing down on his car. Looking at the extent of the damage, one might definitely feel there would be no survivors, but the car owner Suresh is only thankful that he escaped death by a whisker. Well, no sooner did Suresh come out of his car and walk towards his hotel, the huge tree came crashing down. And hotelier Suresh managed to escape in the nick of time, but his car is totally damaged beyond repairs. Residents in the locality claim that the tree had uprooted due to heavy rains that lashed the city last night. They also blamed the Development Authority, which, while road widening, had laid concrete around the trees all along the road. Now, it is learned that due to the Development Authority's action, roots of several trees have weakened, resulting in uprooting of trees during rains. Let's now listen to what Suresh had to say about this.
ಆ್ಯಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ವಲ್ ಮಾಮೂಲಿ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಕಾರ್ ನಿಲ್ಲಿಸೋದು. ನಿನ್ನೆ ಮಳೆ ಬಂದಿತ್ತು, ಮರ ಪೋಕಲ್ಲಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಇವತ್ತು ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ 10:30 ಬಿದ್ದಿದೆ. ಶಬ್ದ ಬಂತು, ಆಚೆ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ಮರ ಬಿದ್ದಿದ್ದು ನೋಡಿದ್ವಿ.
ಹೋಟೆಲ್ ಮಾಲೀಕರ ಗಾಡಿ ಮೇಲೇ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಮರ ಒಂದು ಬಿದ್ದು ಬುಡ ಸಮೇತ ಇದಾಗಿದೆ. ಈ ಥರ 14ರಿಂದ 18 ಮರ ಈ ರಸ್ತೆನಲ್ಲಿದೆ. ಇವರು ರೋಡ್ ವೈಡ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಒಂದು ಬದಿಯನ್ನು ತುಂಬ ಈ JCBಯಿಂದ ಆ ಕಡೆ ಈ ಕಡೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ತುಂಬ ಸಡಿಲ ಮಾಡಿಸಿ ಅದು ಜೀವಸ್ಥಿತಿಗಿಂತ ಅದು ತುಂಬ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಹಾನಿ ಸ್ಥಿತಿಯಲ್ಲಿದೆ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಇವತ್ತೇನೋ ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಕಾರ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಬಿದ್ದಿದೆ, ಮನುಷ್ಯನ ಮೇಲೆ ಬಿದ್ದರೆ ತುಂಬ ಅಪಘಾತ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಈ ಅಪಘಾತ ಆಗೋಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮುಂಚೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಮೈಸೂರಿನ ನಗರ ಪಾಲಿಕೆಯವರೇ ಆಗಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ಫಾರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅವರೇ ಆಗಲಿ ಇದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಗಮನ ಹರಿಸಿ ಸೂಕ್ತವಾದಂಥ ನಿರ್ಣಯನ ಬೇಗ ತಗೊಳ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ನಮ್ಮ ವಿನಂತಿ ಸರ್.
Well, you heard what he stated. He said that the Mysore City Corporation and the development authorities over there have actually choked the trees while widening the roads, thereby not providing enough space for water to filter in, which has actually resulted in the weakening of the roots. Now, they say that because of that, every time it rains, a lot of trees are uprooted and they keep falling. And he says, thankfully, this time around, it did not claim the life of a person, but damaged his car. Now, 11 people have lost their lives after a compound wall collapsed in Tiruvallur district of Tamil Nadu. Now, one individual has been rescued alive while many are feared still trapped. In fact, 13 is the number that we're getting who are still feared trapped under the debris. The 20-feet compound wall collapsed due to rains. Now, a 19-year-old youth named Nagaraj was rescued from under the debris. All the labourers are said to be from Andhra Pradesh. 5 fire engines were pressed into service. You can clearly see the rescue personnel going about with their work. Now, this incident occurred after heavy rains lashed the area last night, police have stated. Tiruvallur District Collector K. Veera Raghava Rao visited this accident spot and said that those responsible for the incident would be punished. And basically, to quote what the collector stated, a total of 11 people died on the spot, including 4 women and a child. Now, Tamil Nadu witnessed a major tragedy when an 11-story under construction building collapsed at Porur on the 28th of June, in which 61 persons were killed. Now, a war has erupted over the death of a college student in West Bengal's 24 North Paraganas. His family and local residents allege that he was murdered for protesting against criminal activities taking place in his area. The crime evoked disgust across the state, and opposition parties attacked the ruling TMC for not controlling crime. Angry local residents set up road and railway blockades from time to time throughout the day, demanding the arrest of the culprits. Police had to chase the protesters with their lathis when the roads were blockaded. Now, a state BJP team led by its chief Rahul Sinha will be visiting the area today. Now, this college student who was known to have protested against illicit liquor and drug dens in his locality was found dead on Saturday morning. Now, that led to huge protests and rail and road blocks by locals. 21-year-old Saurav Chowdhury had apparently been called out of his house on Friday evening by some locals. When his family went out to look for him, they couldn't find him and registered a complaint with the police. On Saturday morning, his body was found near the railway lines passing through the area. Now, a day after 46 Indian nurses returned to Kochi in Kerala from war-torn Iraq, a special chartered flight carrying 200 more Indians from Najaf landed at the Delhi International Airport this morning. In the next 48 hours, another 400 Indians are expected to return to various destinations, including Mumbai, Kolkata, Bangalore, Chennai and Hyderabad through commercial flights. This is the second batch of Indians that have returned from war-torn Iraq. In fact, one of the Indians who returned this morning was heard saying, to quote him, "The situation is very bad in Iraq. We thank the Indian embassy. They helped us in getting back to our homes." Unquote. This is the second batch of Indians that have returned from the war-torn Iraq. On Saturday, 46 nurses and 137 others returned on board a special Air India flight from Erbil. Kerala Chief Minister Oommen Chandy received the nurses at the Kochi airport. The nurses were held captive by ISIS, the Islamic State of Iraq and Syria in Iraq. They were freed on Friday. As they emerged at the airport after getting off the flight, their family members thronged them. In fact, one of the mothers was heard saying that she thanks God for keeping her daughters safe. She had actually gone to Iraq to make their lives much better. But things turned out very different. Now, while the nurses have been brought back safely and all these Indians have actually reached India, heading back to their respective states, 39 Indian construction workers kidnapped 2 weeks ago in Mosul remain in captivity. About 10,000 Indians work in Iraq. Scores of them have already returned to India since fighting began over there. Now, in the recent past, only 2 states have been heavily active when it comes to politics, and there are no prizes in guessing which states they are. Well, now the land rates in these regions have skyrocketed, but hold on, the government has intervened and put a check on them.
You seldom think that distancing yourself from politics will probably spare you your peace of mind. But have you ever thought of what a deep impact politics has on your life? Take the example of people living in Guntur-Vijayawada corridor. The politics of this state has had a profound impact on them. After the division of the state, Telangana government has been pushing the Andhra government to shift its capital from Hyderabad at the earliest, and that had created quite some tension in the joint capital. But soon enough, Chandrababu Naidu began dropping hints that he would build the capital of New Andhra Pradesh between Vijayawada and Guntur. And just this speculation has created a phenomenal rise in property prices around this region. Property values in this region has risen by a quarter in the last year and up to 6-fold this year. The demand for property came from locals as well as non-resident Indians who were looking to invest in the area. The increase in price was so alarming that the government decided to get a piece of the action. So just when the people here began to think that real estate sector here would make them overnight millionaires, the government has stopped the process of land registration. And this has been done so that the government can immediately hike registration charges and make some money while the real estate market is still booming. Rahmat, News 9, Hyderabad.
Now, singer Shibani Kashyap today joined the BJP via the party's online campaign. She was welcomed to the party by LK Advani, Rajnath Singh and other senior party leaders. Well, apart from singing very famous songs, she has also anchored a singer-hunt show named Bathroom Singer. Now, she achieved fame by singing the signature tune of Air FM channel for All India Radio and also Amul India. Now, she mostly composes music in the Sufi Western blend. Now, in 2012, she sang for a Pakistani serial title, which became a huge hit in Pakistan and India as well. In fact, Shibani Kashyap achieved fame by singing the signature tune of the Air FM channel of All India Radio and Amul India. Now, she mostly composes music in the Sufi Western blend. Now, there is a saying that if you dig a hole for others, you are sure to fall in it yourself. Well, here's the perfect example of the same.
A leopard that came in search of prey in Madne village in Udupi district fell into a 30-feet well. The leopard that had been troubling the villagers for the past 2 years fell into the well that belongs to a local resident, Sulochana Nayak. Nayak's family were out for a function, and when they returned, they got the shock of their lives.
ಮತ್ತೆ 3:30 ಗಂಟೆಗೆ ಅಮ್ಮ ನೀರು ತರಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂತ ಹೋಗಿದ್ರು. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಾವಿಲಿ ಚಿರತೆ ಉಂಟಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾಯಿತು. ಮತ್ತೆ ಕೂಡಲೇ ಅರಣ್ಯ ಇಲಾಖೆಯವರಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಫೋನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಈಗ ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅರಣ್ಯ ಇಲಾಖೆ ಸಿಬ್ಬಂದಿಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಈಗ ಒಂದು ಹೇಗೆ ತೆಗಿತಾರೆ ನೋಡಬೇಕು.
According to the villagers, the leopard that comes in from the nearby forest in search of cattle has never harmed people. The leopard struggled for 4 hours inside the well. The forest department officials, with the help of the locals, then placed a ladder inside the well. The leopard used it to get out of the well and rushed back into the forest. The animal has returned to the forest, but the villagers fear that it could target the village again soon. A News9 report.
Well, Neymar was on television just today after suffering a back injury that has ruled him out of the rest of the World Cup. He released a short video through the Brazilian Football Association. Now, an emotional Neymar had to hold back the tears as he addressed a nation in mourning after he was ruled out of the rest of the World Cup with a broken vertebra.
Rapaziada brasileira, tanto jogadores, comissão técnica, torcedores. É um momento muito difícil, que faltam palavras para dizer o que está passando pela minha cabeça, pelo meu coração. Só queria dizer que eu vou voltar o mais rápido possível, quanto menos esperar, eu estou de volta. Queria agradecer a todo o apoio, todo o carinho que tiveram por mim, tudo que escreveram, pelas mensagens, por tudo. E dizer que meu sonho ainda não acabou. Foi interrompido por uma jogada, mas ele continua. Eu tenho certeza que meus companheiros vão fazer de tudo para que eu possa realizar o meu sonho, que é ser campeão. Meu sonho também era jogar uma final de Copa do Mundo, mas dessa vez não vai dar. Mas tenho certeza que eles vão vencer essa e vão ser campeões. E eu vou ser junto, vou estar com eles e nós brasileiros vamos estar comemorando.
Neymar is convinced that Brazil can win the World Cup without him. Brazil's World Cup star and poster boy was ruled out of the tournament on Friday night when he fractured a vertebra. 24 hours after Brazil's quarter-final win, the Barcelona forward released a video in which he spoke about his heart-breaking injury for the first time. Now, the 22-year-old, who scored 4 goals for his team, was visibly upset when speaking into the camera about missing the rest of the World Cup. But the former Santos player is sure his teammates will retain their composure and go on to lift the trophy on the 13th of July at the Maracana.
Para que eu possa realizar